everyone, and welcome to my tutorial. At the beginning, you saw what we're going to be doing in this video. I'm going to show you how to weave this exact ring that you saw at the beginning of this tutorial. We're going to go ahead and cut 10 inches of the 18 gauge 1mm wire. I might not be saying that right. I've been kind of judged on that a few times, but that's okay. Comes with the jaw, right? And we're going to go ahead and cut 3 of those. You're going to be using 3 10-inch pieces of the 18mm wire, 18 gauge, sorry, wire, and we're going to wrap those 3 with a silver 3mm, I think it's 28 gauge wire, so that you'll be able to see how you're doing. Now I'm going to make quite a few boo-boos, and I will go back and correct them throughout this video. I don't want to keep running my mouth because you might get bored listening to me. So we're going to go ahead and cut off about 1 yard or 2 yards, something in a ballpark figure. It's kind of hard. You almost have to use your own judgment when you are using the 3mm wire. I'm going to estimate about 1 yard to 2 yards for this ring. And go ahead and use your nylon pliers. You do not want to scratch your wire or damage your wire, so I do recommend getting yourself a pair of pliers that have nylon on it. I'm probably not saying that word right because, you know, sometimes when I say wrench, like a wrench you work on a car with, it sounds like I'm saying wrench your clothes. You know what? We all talk different. We're all different. We're all our individual selves. So you're not for everyone. So be yourself, love yourself, be humbled, and do what you love to do. Let's continue. Let's make this. So let me see if I can help y'all out, because I know I'm probably not getting close enough to where you can actually tell what I'm doing. So you're going to have those 3 wires. Your middle wire is going to be your main wire, because you're going to be using that middle wire throughout. So you're going to wrap 2 times with the first wire and the middle wire. And then on the back wire, you're going to wrap 2 times with the back wire and the middle wire. Then you'll go back to the front wire, wrap 2 times with the front wire and the middle wire. And then you'll go to the back wire and you'll wrap 2 times with the middle wire and the back wire. I hope that helps. I'm going to try to get a little closer here soon. I don't know. We'll see. The videos are getting a little bit easier. I am staying frame a little bit better than I was, but I find myself drifting out from time to time. So please bear with me as I am in a learning process, because when you're standing here making something, you're hugging either an iPad or a phone. So your vision is a little bit different than it would be if I didn't have an obstacle in front of me. So I hope you figure out what I'm doing. Make sure you use nylon pliers because you don't want to damage your wire, and you always want to flatten it in between each little section, because it does start to bind up together. You'll see the wire starting to bunch up on you. It's okay, don't panic. Just by using the nylon pliers to flatten it out works great. I think a little bit farther in this video, I had to literally undo some of it because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I had a little bit of bulkiness going on. I like to keep about the same tension, try to keep the same tension throughout. I know it's just a perfectionist in me. I don't mean to be a perfectionist, but I am. When it comes to my customers, I want them to get the perfect piece. Anyway, let's continue. So right here, I took it out because I know it did not look right. Now I think we're back on the right track. Whoops. As you notice here, it looks like the wires are all clunked together, and they do that as you're wrapping, but using the nylon pliers to flatten that out, it brings it all together nicely. So you do want to have a pair of nylon pliers available. That way you're not damaging your wire. So it's a good tool to have on hand. Remember that this is the best way I can describe it. If you can't see what I'm doing, your middle wire is always going to be your main wire. So you're going to wrap 2 times with the front wire, middle wire, and then you'll take the back wire and wrap 2 times with the back wire and the middle wire. So it's front wire, middle wire together 2 times, back wire, middle wire 2 times. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much there. As you can see, it did clump together, so you take those nylon wire pliers, which is a very important tool to have. You see mine's a little wore out. And squeeze that down, flatten it, so everything looks like it belongs together. So don't panic if you see your wires kind of bunching up on you. It's because you just need to flatten them. I like to do it in between every little, I don't know, 5 or 6 little wraps or 3 wraps, whatever you choose to do when you're doing your piece. So here I kind of speeded it up a little bit because my hands kind of went out of frame. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to keep my hands in the frame. I'm sorry if I slip out, but I'm going to do my best to keep my hands as close as I can get them so you can see exactly how this goes together. Just in case you can't tell what I'm doing here is I'm wrapping. You're going to be using the middle wire throughout. So I'm going to wrap the first one 2 times with the middle wire, and then I'm going to do the last wire 2 times with the middle wire. So you're going to repeat this process. Wrap the first 2 with the first one with the middle wire 2 times, and the last wire with the middle wire 2 times. You want to make sure you press on it with your nylon pliers because it does start to bulk up together, because that's just how this wrapper here works for me. It may not work for other wrappers, but that's how it was going for me. So anyways, I just thought I'd point that out. Normally I measure about 2 inches in the weave part, not the wire, but the weave part. If you're doing like a size 6 to a 7, if you're doing an 8 or a 9, I would do 6 inches of the weave part only. Don't measure the wire, just measure the weaved part. I'm probably cutting a little bit too much wire. Normally I would cut about 6 inches of wire of the 18 gauge and not use so much wire, especially if I'm just doing a size 6 or a 7. The reason I cut a little bit more wire is so that you guys can see it better, but I think it wouldn't make much difference. The shorter the wire, the easier it is to weave. So I would start out with about 6 inches of the 3 wires of the 18 gauge. It might make it a little easier on you. I just wanted to point that out as we move forward. So as you can see, it looks like it's separated in a couple of areas. So I'm gonna have to, what they call, tweak it. Basically, some of the pieces aren't really close together, so I'm gonna have to sit here and push and pull and tug to make sure all those pieces come close together. The best way to do this is to make sure you use your nylon pliers in between a little section. That way you don't have to go back and do all this. It's my fault for not paying attention. Throughout the video, you're going to find me drifting out because I get so wrapped up in what I'm doing. Sometimes I forget that I'm out of frame. And then when I look down and go, oh crap, I'm out of frame. To remake the whole video, oh boy, would take a long time. So hopefully you guys will be able to see what it is I'm doing, even though I am slipping up. I'm hoping that I'll get better with time. I have, about 11 videos out there right now. The first few were not the best, but it got me started. I'm really, see right there where it's separated? Oh my goodness. We got to get all that pushed back together. But anyways, I'm just babbling on. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow and like. I guess that's what they do here on YouTube. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still in the learning process. Everything that I've done so far has been me teaching myself how to do the audio and all that stuff and keeping myself in frame. It's one of the biggest challenges because you're literally hugging your iPad or your phone, putting your hand on the opposite side of it, so you don't have that clear, open vision that you would have if you didn't have some obstacle in front of you, which is something, it's a learning process. I promise you, it is a learning process. Just like when you're wire wrapping, I would say get some really cheap wire at first to practice on, and then when you get really good at it, get yourself some good wire and go for it. Have fun doing it. So we're going to go ahead and grab our wooden dial, which has been made for ring sizing. I got this from a really sweet person. I will try my best if I can figure out how to link her link below so you can get yourself one. The metal ones are okay, but they have a tendency to cause you to be slipping and sliding. I don't know why. It just don't work that well for me. A lot of people use the metal ones when they're using like a rubber hammer or something on these. I like the wooden ones better. They're a lot easier to work with to me. So I'm going to go ahead and weave in the ends of the 3mm wire. I like to make sure that I get that tucked in real good. I'm also, instead of using the cutters, I'm going to get it coming upwards, and I'm just going to twist it and do a little bit of pulling. I just can't seem to get where I need to get when it comes to getting really close to cutting the wires. So I like to twist it a little bit and pull. It really cuts it really, really good and keeps the little piece from popping up. You don't want that to happen. When you're making a ring for someone, you don't want them to get poked with that little wire. So I try to make sure those are tucked in really, really well. And then when I go to put the stones on, I'll make sure that that's covered up really, really well. So that works out really good for me. But to each his own. Do whatever floats your boat. Whatever works for you is the way you should do it. I'm going to show you this. Wrap it around my finger a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and start cutting off those long pieces. I'm going to save those long pieces because I'll use them in something else. I try not to waste the wire because this Fayless wire is not cheap, that's for sure. But I'm going to try to link a link below where you guys can get this wire for a really good, reasonable price, almost at factory prices. And we're going to go ahead and make those little turns in this to give it a nice, cute look. And then we're going to continue on by adding a few stones. The reason why I use the Fayless wire is because you can go swimming, you can get in the salt water, you can take a bath, you can do whatever floats your boat, and your ring is never going to discolor or tarnish. And that's what I love about this wire. I know the other couple wires have a tendency to turn. Some of them look really good that way because it makes them look, what's the word? Never mind. Oh God, you ever try to think of a word and it's right on the tip of your tongue and you just can't seem to spit it out? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish turning these ends where I cut them, and then we're going to be adding the stones. It's going to be super cute. It'll take a minute, guys. I just broke a fingernail, so I got to go finish cutting it off and filing it, and it won't take but a few seconds. I'll try to speed this up if I can. If not, please bear with me, and I'm back. The word, vintage. Good Lord. Oopsie, there I go again, jumping out of frame. Sorry about that. I'll speed it up so I won't have so much of me going out of frame on there. I'm going to put that on my finger and show you kind of what that looks like. You don't have to add stones. You can actually wear it this way. I made this a little bit larger because I wanted to kind of cross over. As you can see, my pointer finger is like a size 8. So you can see how adjustable that is. We're going to go ahead and put it on here and show you. It's around a 7, 7.5, something like that. Or you could make it to an 8. It'll separate it just a little bit more. That's what's so good about these rings, is they are so adjustable. We're going to go ahead and add some stones to this. I think it's going to be super cute. I'm going to add, I think it's Zoniac or Zoniac. I don't know. See, there's another word I'm not spitting out right, but I'll later on remember it. I'll remind you. But they're really, really pretty. They have a nice little flash to them when you're wearing them. They got that little diamond sparkle to them. So that's what makes them so cute. I'm going to lay a couple of stones in here and show you kind of, sort of, what that's kind of going to look like. It's super, super cute. I think I did make it with all the blue zirconia. Blech. I did go ahead and put the zirconia in it. I think I'm about to do a little bit of that right here. But at the beginning of this video, you saw the complete full ring done. That's the ring that we're making right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the, what's the word, on the ring. It's going to turn out super cute. So if you haven't subscribed, you haven't followed, you haven't liked, please go ahead and do that for me if you don't mind. I know I'm not for everyone. But if I am for you, please go ahead and do that and follow and subscribe, because there's more videos to come. I've pre-made a video on making 4 different wraps in the same video I partially did them, then we went back and we made 4 rings to go with it. So it's going to be pretty interesting. You'll just have to follow, subscribe, and so I can keep you posted when I do post my next video. I apologize for that noise at the end of that last voiceover. The guy across the street has this thing he pulls on the back of his truck. And I'm telling you, I can hear that all the way upstairs. I don't know if he needs some shocks or what, but let me apologize for that. Let's go ahead and continue adding the little blue stones. These are about 2 millimeters is about what I use when I kind of relax them on the little rings or turns that I did on the ring. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you'll see the full version of the ring when it's completed. And we have more videos to come. So again, please subscribe, please follow, please like. Like I said, I'm not for everyone, but if I am for you, please subscribe and follow, because there's a lot more videos to come. And I'm pretty sure I can promise you that they will improve as time goes on. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all the support. I am so humbled. And I will see you in the next video.